Persons with disabilities have historically been treated as the family secret, out of sight and out of mind. Over 30 years ago, Florida and the legislature, with the leadership of Representative Billy Joe Rish, began to change this mindset. We secured the land and built the Billy Joe Rish Park.
This facility offers services to the developmentally disabled individuals of the state of Florida. That's what the Florida legislature in 1971 established this facility to do.
The creation of the park showed incredible foresight. Florida's beaches and outdoors are among its greatest assets. Rish Park provided a unique outdoor experience for persons with disabilities that cannot be found anywhere else in America. Unfortunately, the park was built before accessibility standards had been established under the Americans with Disabilities Act. During the past 30 years, the park has hosted thousands of persons with disabilities and their families. They have enjoyed the same opportunity that the rest of us do: explore vast beaches, smell the fresh air, and experience Florida's beautiful landscape.
It's very unique. There's very few places in the state of Florida, or really the nation, that have the type of accessibility, especially to the water, the beach, the bay, and even having a pool that's fully accessible for individuals with disabilities.
I can't go down the street to the state park because it's not accessible. Right? Their cabins and their trails do not meet my needs. I'd like to be able to have a park, the state of Florida have a park that everybody can recreate in a barrier-free environment. That's my vision.
The park has survived numerous hurricanes and has continued to serve the North Florida area with limited resources. It has been frequently forced to engage in deferred maintenance programs.
There are a lot of things that we just can't get to, and over the years, due to the funding, we just have things that just deteriorate, and it's just some things that you just have to do for maintenance sake.
Despite the fact that the park is not up to current accessibility guidelines and is in need of many repairs, our citizens and their families still come every year. During the 2005 session, the state legislature appropriated $500,000 to do some of the much-needed upkeep and repair for the park. A small portion of this money was set aside to execute a feasibility study and develop a strategic plan. Following the legislature's direction, the park and its managers were able to do some very basic and very necessary upkeep. However, in order to maximize the potential of the 98 acres, we need your help. The strategic plan builds upon your original vision of the park with added features. They include camping, RV spaces, nature trails, heated and air-conditioned cabins, fishing, water sports, and accessible playgrounds. These added features will help Florida to ensure that its citizens with special needs are able to enjoy the great outdoors in a truly barrier-free setting that promotes the use of the outdoors while preserving the environment for future generations. By building upon the original plan and expanding its capacity, the park will become self-sustaining due to the increased use providing an adequate revenue stream.
Since the passing of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the nation, the community, and the state, and especially the state of Florida, has worked very hard to break down barriers, to return people to work, to allow them to live independently. But another piece of that is learning how to recreate, learning how to enjoy the outdoors. And we have an asset here that no one else in the country has. And it would just be unforgivable for us not to enable folks with disabilities to recreate just like everybody else in an environment that their disability doesn't matter, and to not to take advantage of our leadership and not to continue to be a leader in the disabled community for all individuals. It would nearly be criminal.
More importantly, the intrinsic and extrinsic benefit to the most vulnerable community will be priceless. With your help, we can ensure that all Floridians can play in the surf in the warmth of the Sunshine State.